Now you all, at least initiates, they know the limitations of mind. So little self now we should understand what it is. Forget mind. Now you are at least clear that this body, this mind, now I need to do the journey of self. So self is very clearly comes into experience also, and it's been defined in the Shastras also. Shastras, when we say, it is because when you speak to someone or something, they say give me some in the beginning when they are not initiated. Somewhere they are looking for some base, some adhar, on what basis you are saying like that. That is why some shastra is needed, otherwise there is no need. So usme the Gita about this say कि this is la गीता सुकीता कर्तव्या किमन्नई शास्त्र विस्तरई या स्वयं पद्मनावश मुख पद्माद विनिश्रुता. Vyas himself, who wrote Gita and Mahabharata, he says about his Gita that if you do by heart this Gita, then what else shastra you need? Because this has been spoken by the divinity himself through his own lotus mouth. So one is sufficient. So that way. So we have very two great books which I say, that Ramayana and Mahabharata, or Gita of course. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita is within Mahabharata, which are the history of human heart. So if the Mahabharata is in time, physical time, then Gita is the history of, you see, subtle time. It is in no moment he is giving history of the human heart, just transmitting like this. While you through Mahabharata you read all characters, then you are knowing, oh, the mind works this way. All characters in Gita are one or the other tendency of your mind they are representing. That if you go this way, if you go that way, if you mix varnas, what happens, what? If you are in certain different mode and you try to reach to certain higher, you aspire for some higher results, then it get mixed. Then you get very bad results. That one example I can give right here is that Jayadratha's father. He was doing tapasya, but he was in a tamasic mode. So he asked that my son whosoever kills him, he will also get. In whose lap his head falls, he will also get killed. So who will kill? So he was killed in such a way that his head fell on his father's lap. Arjuna put an arrow and cut his head, and that head went right away where he was doing tapasya, his father, and he fell in his lap and both went. So you should this also, because tapas, it should be when you mix the modes. You are not elevated, but you are doing. So that Krishna very clearly tells that you eat properly, you sleep properly. Why are you punishing your body? That tapa is not right. Tap, he says there are three kinds of tap: man, vani, and sarir. So what is from man you do tap, from vani you do tap, and from sarir, and they are very simple. If you are doing Guru Dev Prag Pujan, means if you are valuing whom you consider elders in every sense. So that is tapa of sarir. Sarir's tapa is not this that you don't eat. Nowhere it is written. Nowhere advised by Krishna. Nor are we saying now. We say eat properly, sleep properly, do your think properly, dream properly, everything in moderation. And nowhere in no shastra it is described that you should do like this. So Vani's tapa is if you speak lovingly, you speak for the welfare of the other, that is the tapa of the Vani. And what is the tapa of the man? If you are Somya, means humble. If you are in that mode that you can sustain, some pain is also there or something there, that means tapa of the mind. So when we do such tapa, then we transcend to the higher self, from mind to self. Now self is your, so that we say the adhyatma. And adhyat means what? It is made of two words, as we say, atma plus adhyay means dhyana. So if you are meditating, so that who is meditating? Ultimately it is you in the form of soul. So that form being invisible, we can't call it form. So formless form, you can say. That is meditating. Where there is a drop, meditate. It meditates on the ocean. That's all. So it becomes ocean. Because the way you identify yourself, that you become. That is what being told earlier also, when you are into the Prakriti mode also. Not because that all these things karyam when they become. When they say no, all what is happening in your body, that is happening because of the environment around you, everything is included into that. So if you reach to that realization that it is really happening, then why will you intervene? What is happening? So that will bring you to the niyat karma, that what should I do? So that is what the Swadharma has been defined. That niyat karma jo hai, swabhav niyatam karmam kurban na apnoti kilvisha. If you do what is devised by your swabhav, if you do that karma, then you will not incur sins. Incur sins means you will not go wrong, nothing more than that. What you should do, in that direction only you will move. So everything is related with one another. But what is there which is in our hands? Efforts. That is the thing which is in our hands. In which direction we put our efforts. So that is the beginning of where we see knowledge, adhyatmic knowledge begins with that. Are we going in right direction? Anveshan, which means are we doing our research in right direction? Are we seeking in right direction? So right direction is this, that he says that everything will end here, because what you know, how do you know that I have realized the Amrit Tattva? You will feel happy, shanti, peace, inside peace, that is real peace. So it happens according to your efforts. It is all the time you have to keep making efforts for it. So that what happens is you get carried away again by the nature. Once you establish, you experience this, but if you cannot uphold, you again fall to the nature, and then again you start struggling. So that is why continuous efforts, continuously remembering that what is reality. So then when you feel peace inside, happiness inside, that means that's the sign of your immortality, that yes, such a thing is existing. Otherwise, how will you? There is no other way. But more and more you reach to the higher realization, this keeps becoming more and more clear to you. So there is one instrument which always stays till very long, buddhi. So those who speak of so much about the rationality, if they ensharpen their wisdom, their intelligence, and they will leave that rationality and everything, not leave them, they'll overcome that okay, its limitation is still that. So dhi goes long way. All the time you are deciding according to your buddhi. The buddhi has to be vishuddha. That is important. Every time buddhya vishuddhya, 10 times I keep repeating this. You have to ensharpen your intelligence. That what is, and at a point it reaches where you develop that shraddha. This is real knowledge, and I should become this knowledge. Obviously, the happiness and peace will be inside, because this will lead you to tyag. Tyag means what? In simple terms, tyag means you have come to know what is what, so you are not upholding to that. So real wisdom is, first it comes to oneself. You start enjoying it. Oh, this is how I am. I cannot carry anything with me. This is how nothing means anything. really means is this. That is, then you start investing into eternity. So that is how it works. That self is, once we come to know this is real self, choosing capacity and empowerment to choose and uphold and do it, then it starts giving you different things. When, because anything here, so long as we are in the world, we have to do purusharth. None is free from purusharth. See, the one who is more realized, he should work 24 hours. He works. So this is how it is. More realized you are, more you do. Because for no movement the one is free from doing, that is the ultimate divinity. There is no free movement for the ultimate divinity, because if he is not doing for one movement, others will copy that, and then everything will go haywire. So he has to work all the time, but his work is his work, our work is our work. Because he is this journey happens to Karta, to Gyata, to Drashta. So the real worker is when you have no ego left. See, this is how it is called a mysterious knowledge. Divine is the servant of the egoless. Egoless person जो does whoever, he is servant, but he is the master of the one who has ego. He is servant of the egoless, but master of the one who has ego. So this we keep realizing when we go higher in realization. This is how it is true. That is why the one who has nobody above his head, he has to work on his own volition. That is called uttardayitva, responsibility. You have seen that same thing happening in organizations. Who is going to tell the boss what should you do? He has to, or she has to be active on his own, that I am responsible for that, I have to drive this initiative. So nobody is there. So he becomes servant in the real sense, because responsibility is also there, and he has to serve all, because everybody's interest is related to. So there is nothing in this world which is not the copy of the spirituality in some way. That is what we are saying. So happiness, yes, it comes when you realize your mortality within this mortal coil. And then we have to, this doesn't absolve us from doing the purusharth, that we have to keep doing so long as we are there.